ABC wasn't this touched when Charlie's widow wept in front of the nation.
Oh
and the
my
far left is acting like Charlie had it coming.
If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear.
This was vengeance for the election of Trump too. Absolutely correct. Good framing, Jesse.
That guy's name's Destiny, and he just learned his fate. He's fired and banned.
Holy shit, so much has happened since my last post. We have a Ukrainian refugee that just got stabbed by a black individual. Been let out so many times, and it looks like injustice is happening in America. Illegal immigrants are committing so much crime that it is insane. And now we have Destiny that just got demonetized for the very harmful shit that he's saying. At some point, when you start having the stoic mindset, it starts going against you when you start inciting violence in terms of like a whole political movement. Mind you, Charlie Kirk, everyone knows this, he got shot, and the fact that he makes this story about himself that the conservative movement is just going after him now after Charlie Kirk just got shot by a left-wing maniac. I don't know how Destiny just starts reacting like, oh yeah, the conservative movement are just going after us. I've downloaded TikTok 2 months ago after 5 years of not using it. I also started using Twitter after a very long time, and holy shit, it is a cesspool. Mind you, I started seeing a lot of posts, even on Instagram, on Threads. I started seeing all this shit that, oh, I thought conservatives were against cancel culture. Yeah, but we're also not against boycotting, because last time I checked, conservatives do have a history of boycotting, and people who are notoriously known for boycotting is the leftist ideology, especially liberalism. I know they're not the same thing, but they do it at a very rampant rate that, well, you could say that the conservative movement, the very earliest thing that just happened was the Cracker Barrel incident. I really didn't give a fuck. But the Keystone Pipeline is a big issue that even Destiny's fans are pushing, and also his Democratic base. The Keystone Pipeline, I mean, you could say that it's a good thing for environmental issues, but in different aspects, you start pushing gasoline prices more than ever. I mean, I'm saying right now that under Biden's administration, it was, what was this, 363? I'm being disingenuous, it was 343 by the end of his administration, but it's still pretty bad, and you can see how much that would affect on a person's ability to even pump gas. I think you guys have already seen all the videos of him just spurging, and all the videos of him from his past just inciting violence, how he wants conservatives all DEAD. And I don't know what kind of person Destiny was. I've been watching his videos for the past 3 years, and he's changed so much that it just kind of feels like he's just so heartless. And it's always a back-to-back and who gets the most power in this political space right now. And honestly, I'll be honest with y'all, I don't give a fuck if Republicans are in power right now. Like, even as a conservative, I really don't feel like it's really affecting me too much, or even as a liberal. I mean, the Republican Party has been trying to be bipartisan as much as possible. Like, for example, I mean, Republicans are not crying that California has the most strictest gun laws in the country, or like Minnesota also, or even Colorado. Colorado had a school shooting, and liberals are just so disingenuous that when they got that school shooting, they were like, oh, we're just waiting for gun control to happen on the federal level. When this happened on a state level, and Colorado is ranked in one of the most strictest gun control laws out there. But yeah, like I've said, I've seen Destiny's videos for the past 3 years. In terms of growing, he's really just fucking regressing. I don't know what's going on with this guy. I was expecting better from this guy. And people that are not admitting that this guy, I'm talking about Tyler Robinson, he's clearly on the left. I don't know why people are backtracking that he isn't, but clearly he is part of the left. Like, let's just be real here. Also, my biggest issue is that the left are putting something like this I am so sick and tired of seeing this shit, like, on the comments, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, doesn't fucking matter. Like, the fact that people are lumping the right extremists with MAGA supporters, it is beyond my disbelief. Because I thought we already came to a consensus that right-wing and left-wing extremists, they all hate the political party like the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. So when I see liberals and leftists are just lumping each other up with those, like, for example, a Groyper, I do not align myself with the Groypers. Like, these guys don't like Israel. I mean, if that's what they don't like, well, that's okay on them. But they also are all, nativist. And I feel like if the way how immigration has been processed here in the United States, I mean, why backtrack? I think we're just doing fine. And that's the thing that I actually do agree with Destiny. So why are we trying to retract back? And instead, why not go forward? I mean, it's a little cliche, but he's not wrong. Another thing that I do agree with Destiny, but kind of like the wrong messenger, is that, he said that, let me think. Oh, right. He said that Trump is not lowering down the temperature. He's not wrong about this, but what he doesn't understand, he's the same exact leftists that are propagating this whole issue that right-wing extremism and lumping it with conservatism in the United States. Like, I don't know what's going on there. I mean, we know that right-wing extremists are the ones propagating all the violence in the United States. Like, we get it. But what he also just starts lumping in, like, Josh Shapiro being the victim of 2 Molotov cocktails during Passover. Like, yeah, we get that. We disavow that kind of behavior, but we also disavow, like, Groypers, like any kind of some sort of that idea. We don't like that kind of idea. And people people are saying that Charlie Kirk was some kind of like right-wing extremist by the visionist of the far left extremists. It's beyond my disbelief too. That guy was the same guy that was saying like, oh yeah, abortion, we should lead it up to the states. The same thing what Trump would say. And he was very, very loose on immigration. The only thing that he did not like was this humanitarian issue of like illegal immigration. And we technically do have open borders, but the problem is that, some liberals like Destiny would say, well, there is asylum, so technically it is an open border. No, not really. I mean, we have a fucking wall. It's a little unfinished, but people are always securing that border with ICE agents, and they're doing a very good job. Like, look at these numbers. Like, what the fuck? They're doing such a good job. And everyone's sitting back and relaxed after a long day of work. You're not getting killed by an illegal migrant, just like the other illegal migrant. Bro, I just saw a video in Dallas. I live in Texas. I live in Houston, Texas, and from not that far away from me, there's Dallas. I see a Cuban guy chopping the head off of an Indian guy, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, where are we, in Cuba? And oh wait, now that I mentioned about Cuba, Cuba is so relentless with its own violence back at home. The military is always, the military is basically the fucking police. It was so bad for the Cuban government that they did not accept him back because he was too violent. I'm like, well, no fucking shit. So where is this going? Where is this guy heading to now? Fucking Mars? I mean, like, where can we put this guy at? We don't have mental asylums anymore, thanks to JFK and Ronald Reagan. But the real issue here is that I don't know. Like, it's just so much shit going on, bro. It's so hard to come together, and it feels like we are becoming more divided. And I don't know who can fix that. And it's always a left and right issue. And there's no more Bill Clinton. There's no more Reaganism. I mean, these guys were always passing legislation between both and one another. I mean, seriously, what legislation has become so effective in the past 20 years? I can't think of one. And if some fucking lefty or liberal is saying like, well, $15 minimum wage still, would have been effective during Trump's administration at this point in period of time. Or some fucking idiot would say like free healthcare, universal healthcare is still not like a thing in the United States. Like, yeah, we get it. But people don't mention that we also don't have the exact same diet as Europe, because here in the United States we have a overabundance of fucking food. You have people that dying from alcoholism. In the United States, as you heard me right, in the United States we have so many people dying from alcoholism on a long-term level, and you also have people dying from tobacco at a very long-term level. And I'm talking about in the millions, like almost millions per year. And you also have people dying from obesity. You also have people dying from heart disease, which is also correlated to obesity. Like all these fucking things, bro. Like that's why I kind of believe in this more privatization, and people are going to stab me in the back for saying that shit. But sometimes it is kind of like the person's fault for doing these kinds of activities without saying, well, I think I need to stop. But people don't stop from smoking, doing bad decisions with their health, or is it because they're going to say, well, I don't have enough time for the gym? Really? I just came back from the gym and I work 10-hour shifts here and there. But at least at an average, I do 55 hours, but I'm still at the gym here and there. Definitely not looking at some ass, but you know what I mean. It's not the point. I'm getting gains, you know, losing weight, whatever. But seriously though, this whole notion of Destiny being demonetized, I see it as a boycott. Not from his people, but from the right people. And I mean the right, as in conservatism. We're right, baby. But anyways, now that Destiny's demonetized, I think I know what's going to happen. I'm not going to say he's going to turn to like a fucking groyper, he's going to go on Rumble kind of thing. I think he's going to still keep going. He's probably just going to make a Patreon. The guy is probably a fucking millionaire. I mean, he lives his materialistic, joyous life. Also living a sad, pathetic life, but I think he's still gonna keep his head up. I mean, it's Destiny. Like, he's very stoic, always have this weird blank face all the time. He never laughs. He only laughs at these cringy political jokes that I always see him laugh at with people, and I don't fucking know. The guy is fucking weird. But I think that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe, and I'll post when I can again.